Okay, so in the last video, I'll show you some of the problems that I had in case you didn't watch. But basically, when I'm aiming, if I press the left mouse button down, he constantly shoots. And what I originally wanted was for the gun to fire continuously until the enemy disappears. But this only happens right now when I click once. So when the crosshair is over the enemy and I press once, it just disappears. The reason why it does that is because in the script, the enemy's health is set to 0, and I only have it using input is action just pressed. So when this thing only fires on like the first click, but after that it stops. So it doesn't. So while I press the left mouse button, even though the animation is playing, where he's like constantly like throwing magic or whatever, this actually only affects. Whoops. This only affects the target once. So I'm going to fix that now. Okay, so in order to fix this, first I'm going to double check in my skeleton script to make sure that the health is 5. Then I'll go back to my player script, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this just, because just is only just one click, but if I get rid of the just, that means as long as the left mouse button is down, this constantly triggers. I also need to add right under here, if target dot is in no. What am I doing? Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Does not equal null. So I need to change the indentation. The reason why this is important is just say I shoot the oops. If I shoot the enemy disappears, and if the enemy disappears and it's not detecting anything, then I get an error message. So I need to make sure that this only fires if something is there. So if target is not null, and I'm going to change this back to minus equals damage, which is 1. And I'm also going to re-add the script that I had before, which was first I need to create can fire equals true. So what I had before was when he's firing, it only fires if button is pressed. Aiming is 1, which means he's in aiming mode, and I also have to do can fire equals true. So if this is true, then immediately can fire equals false. The reason why I'm doing this is because when he shoots, he throws his hand out every half second, so I wanted to reset every half second. So at the very bottom, I'm going to do await get tree
5 seconds. Timeout. Below that, I'm going to do can fire equals true. So as soon as the button is pressed, this gets set to false, but all this happens. But while this is happening, this is waiting 0.5 seconds for this to be set to true again. So this, the entire time, this could be pressed down, but this thing only fires. All this stuff only happens 0.5 seconds. I probably should change the indentation because I don't want it to be influenced by any of these if statements. As soon as I indent it, that means it only happens if raycast is colliding, but I wanted to run independently of it.
Okay, so before I hit play, I'll just mention that the target is health is minus equal damage. So damage, every time it hits, it's taking 1 damage. And the skeleton has a health of 5, so which means the target needs to be hit 5 times before it's destroyed. But if I hit play, if I go here and I press the left mouse button down, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it disappears after 4. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think the reason why it seems like 4 is because when I press, as soon as I press the button down, it takes 1 health, but it takes 0.5 seconds to play 1 animation. So that's why it looks offset, but in reality it's taking 5 hits. So I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I'm not sure how to fix that, but I'm gonna figure out a way to sync it up. Okay.
The thing that I want to do next is I want to implement the enemy movement towards the player. So I'm going to start by creating some variables. The first variable is at export variable speed, and I'll set it to 1. I'll adjust it later if I need to. At onReady variable player equals get node, because it's a node that's outside of the skeleton node. It's in the world, so I have to go root for dash world player 3D. So if I click on the world, it's this one right here in the world node. So with that created, I need to create a function, the physics process function, and in there I'm going to create a variable. It's going to be distance, meaning distance to player, and it's going to be equal to global position distance to player dot global distance. So this is the global position of the skeleton, I guess, of the enemy, and the distance to the player. So next, if distance is greater than 10, make sure I indent. Look at global position minus player dot global position minus global position. Vector 3 dot up. Let's if oh, I have to add that. Look at there we go. So if distance is smaller than 10, then the enemy's looking at the player. You would think that I could just pass through the player position and then it would just look at the player, but actually I have to do this calculation. I found this online. I'm not sure why this works. I didn't I didn't really analyze it. I'll analyze it later. All I know is that it works, so I'll just leave it as it is. I need to create a variable called direction equals transform dot basis dot z. Velocity dot x equals direction dot x times speed. Velocity dot z equals direction dot z times speed. And I'm going to basically copy and paste this right below. Turn this into an else if, and I want to get rid of this piece of code. All this has to be indented. And all I'm changing is this to 0. One thing that I forgot is I have to type in move underscore and slide. So none of this will work if unless this is here. I think this is a built-in function. I'm not really sure. Because I'm new to Godot, I don't know like all these little details, but apparently this is required. Actually, I made a couple typos that I gotta fix real quick. So in the first piece of code on the variable distance, this has to be position. And in the variable declaration of the player, I have to put a forward dash in front of root. And here, if distance is I have both of these set to greater than 10. This top one has to be smaller than 10, and then the bottom one can be greater or equal to.
Okay, so before I go and hit play, I'm just going to hop into the 3D view of the world, and as you can see, these guys have to be greater than 10, so they're within 7. So I'm going to push them all the way back here to, I guess, 11-ish, and then if I hit play now, As you can see, they're just standing there, so I can move around. But as soon as I get close to them, they're going to start rotating to me and moving towards me. So, and as soon as I get to 10 again, they stop moving towards me, and as long as I'm more than 10 units away, they stop rotating as well. So they stop moving and stop rotating. But as soon as I get close within 10, they start rotating and moving and start moving towards me. Okay, looks good so far. Now I need to implement the animations.
Okay, so I'm going to go into the skeleton and I'm going to set up the animations. But first, like the player character, I need to create the proper file type. So these are all the idle and walk or GLB. I'm going to double click on each of these. I'm going to go to actions, set animation save paths, select current folder, set path, and re-import. And once that re-imports, I'm going to rename this to idle. So what I'm looking for here is the idle res file, and I'm going to do the same thing for the walk. So double click on the walk GLB, actions, set animation save paths, select current folder, set paths, and re-import. And same deal. Rename this to walk. Okay. So I need to go to the skeleton 3D root node. I'm going to right click, add child node, animation player. To here I'm going to manage animations, new library, I'll just call it animations. Okay. And then I'll add the idle, and I'll add the walk. And I need to right click on the skeleton again, add child node, and I'm going to create animation tree. But before I do anything, actually I need to set this to blend space 1D. What do I have on the player? Animation node blend tree. The blend tree. Okay, I'm going to go back to the animation player for 1 second. And this has to be default pose. So obviously I need to turn on loop, so and I have to do the same thing for the walk. I'll click on that first and then play. Okay, looking good. Animation tree. Here's the output node. So all I need to do is I need to create blend space 1D. And I'll connect it right away. Click this to open an editor. I'm going to set this value from -1 to 0. So I'm just going to go 0 to 1. Right click on the far left and add. Why is there no animations? Oh, default pose. Okay. And open an animator. is this animation, animation player. Here we go. Hopefully this works. There we go. Idle and walk. So if I go back to the root node and I play with this, then I go from idling to walking, which is perfect. Okay, so all I have to do now is script the animations. So first in the player animation, or the player script, I'm just going to copy and paste some script that I already have. So I'm going to get a reference to the animation tree of the skeleton. So anim tree, and then back in the player script, I'm going to grab the script that makes him animate, which is this one right here. So I've made a variable anim tree, and at the bottom, right above move and slide under the physics process function, I'm going to paste this. So it's anim tree.set parameters blend position. I want to get rid of this move scale because I don't need it. And I'm going to replace this with anim tree parameters blend space 1D blend position, copy property path. It's basically the same wording. I didn't have to change that. And the speed is not called move speed in the skeleton, it's called just speed. It's move speed in the player. So that should be good.
Okay, so all I got to do now is try this out. So I'm going to hit play. So as you can see, they're just standing there idling. So as soon as I move up close to them, they start walking. And as soon as I move away, as long as I'm more than 10 units away, they stop moving towards me, they stop rotating towards me, and they stop playing the walk animation. They're stuck in the idle animation. So as soon as I get close to one of them, they'll play the animation, the walk animation, and they'll start rotating and moving towards me. And if I aim as they move towards me, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's all I want to do for this video. I'm not too sure exactly what I'm going to do with this project. I may do more with it, I may not, I'm not too sure. But I'm just going to leave it at that. I think this is long enough for this video. But please stay tuned for more videos because I'll be making more. Okay, thanks.